Alright guys, so I just wanted to do a quick little video here. These have probably been done to death, but anyway, as you see, I've got a tortoise here. Now, as most of you probably know, your two outside posts are your motor control, and the rest are built on a switch. And so what we're going to do here is the reason I got the switch with all the wires is because I power my frogs on my number 8s. So these are older ones that I've had around. They were on the other layout. So as you can see, it's a little beat up. So first thing we need to do is, I don't know if you're even going to be able to, oh yeah, I got a piece of wire. These are just, I forget what the number is, but they're just a hair bit thicker than the ones you get with the tortoise. Now, what we want to do, if I can show you here, I'm having problems getting this in the shot, is you want to figure out about 1/4 of an inch, and you want to, these things are going to be a pain, you want to bend it to a 90 degree. And I think I went over, but I can always trim it. Now I like leaving them long because they're easier to work with. And then depending on how you're setting up your switch, you want to set it up through the center hole, is the way I do them, because mine are right underneath. I think if you're doing other things with them, you want them different. But anyway, this goes in hole here. I didn't take the screw out, so. But anyway, sometimes you gotta take screw out, sometimes you don't, especially when you bend them too long like I did. Now my wire is just a hair bit bigger, so what I'm gonna have to do is I have to clean that hole out a little bit so it'll go in there. So anyway, what we do is, I'm just gonna stick this in the screw hole for right now. What we want to do to get this to work properly is we just take this here. What I do myself is, once it's in the hole, I don't know how well you can see it, I just grab put my finger right in here, and I just bend it out to like a 45 degree angle, a little less. I think the website says 35. But I'm going to get this set up, and I'll have the hole ready, and we'll bend that real quick. Okay, so I've got this set up. I ended up taking let's see if I can get it here, the spacer unit out. And then all you got to do is just like before, when we slid it through, you slide it back. Anyway, I had to nip that piece down a little bit. I did find a drill bit, and I drilled the hole just a hair bit bigger. You want to be careful when doing that, because if you go too big, you're just going to cut that plastic right out of there. But like I said, this wire is just a hair bit bigger. Now, what I do is, with this in here, let me see if I can show you. This is the old one. Let's see if we can see here. I'm trying to get it in an angle where you can see it. So you see there's just a slight bend in there. The way I've been doing them, and this is how I adjust them as well, is I'll get a pair of pliers, because this is thicker wire, and I just pull it up a little bit. No, didn't quite get a bend in there. We got a bend, but not enough. There, now I've just got just a very slight bend in there. That'll give it just enough springiness to be able to throw the switch. No, the only thing that's left to do is line it up and mount it. Now, I know some people have different ideas on how to do this, and that's okay. I'm going to show you my way, or at least explain. what I've got here is I've got a 1/16 drill bit. And this is actually the same one I used to drill the hole, but it's 1/16. And what I do is I go up underneath the board and I hold my tortoise up there, and then I drill a pilot hole probably about, oh, I don't know, maybe a quarter to an eighth to a quarter inch deep on here and here, just cross corner, because this one's broken and this one's broken. I had some bad screws that just didn't want to come out of the layout. And then we had this huge wire, because these are like, I don't know, 3 feet long, but it makes life a lot easier. Now, I can't hold the camera and everything all at once while I'm underneath the layout, so I'm going to do that quick and then I'll come back. Okay, so sitting next to the switch track there, which is the one we're going to be putting in, are two of the screws that I use. You see, where you can see it here. They're not very big. I mean, this is my index finger there. I think they're 1/2 inch, and they're not very thick. But they do hold my tortoise in. Now, obviously before you put a tortoise in, you know, you want to get your tracks all lined up and ready to go. Which I got looking at the wrong one here. There's one right there sitting. That's the switch was hooked right to it. And right there, that is a, I don't remember what size drill bit, but as you can see, this is right where it's supposed to be. This, had to get a T-pin out of the way. So right now it's on diverging, and you know, obviously when it switches, it's going to go really slow and go all the way over to this side of the hole. I'm holding the camera here, so I'm going to have to do this best I can. Now this one actually has to be taken back out afterwards, but I'm going to see what I can do here to show you. So you can kind of see the wire there hanging up. Is that what I'm seeing there? Yeah. Okay, so all I do then is I thread yeah, gotta go through the throw bar, not the, but anyway, I just bring this all right down onto here, and then I'd line it up in with the track, and it's all the way to the one side. Now, let me see here. Let's get this. Try not to flip this camera around if I can help it. Anyway, as you can see, that's coming right up through there. And now when I get everything done, I will leave this long piece on here until I'm ready. And I'll have tested it and thrown the switch a couple of times. But, let's see if I can get this out of here without breaking it. On my Dremel, I have a cutoff blade, and all I do is I get the Dremel down there at a fairly decent speed, and then I just kind of come in and cut it off. I'll cut it off above the surface, and then I'll come back in, and let's see if I can get this do this all at once. I'll come in at a nice sharp angle and I'll cut it right down close so that it's nice and clean. Those two things do two things. One, getting a square cut first makes the rest of my wires square again, so I don't have to try and clip the end off, but sometimes I do. So other than wiring it, which will be another video, these I've actually got 3 switches here that all have wires soldered to them. This is going to be the last batch of ones with soldered wires. If you look over here past the mess, I'm sorry about the mess here. Haven't really done much, and really should have cleaned it up before I did the video. Anyway, these two diverging switches set back to back here, and there'll be a 8 foot long by 2 inch or maybe 4 inch wide track here, and it'll go right through the wall right up there by where you see all the wires, and that leads me to the next thing. Okay, so we're out here, and it's more or less the laundry room part of the basement. We were just filming right over there when I showed you the beginning of the tortoise. That video will be part of this video, but I'm also going to make it as a separate video. So anyway, I'm going to step up next to the board. You can probably see it already. I'm going to try to zoom in. That X right there, directly below the X, where, I don't know if you can see the black line on the board or not, but when this is all set up, those two will line up, and this whole, this whole unit will be a yard, and the cascading yard that I was going to put underneath the table over in that room will be right here. And like I said, it'll come through a tunnel through the wall. Don't know if I'm going to get that cut this weekend or not. Incidentally, this is the weekend of Train Fest, so I'm hoping to actually get the video done tonight and put up online. But if I don't, hope I see some of you guys at Train Fest. So I had a couple things new. I probably just make a video just for that, but I will show you a couple things I've done, so I'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, so if you guys are part of the YouTube Model Railroader group, you've already seen a picture of this engine, and probably actually seen it a couple of times because I bought it from a person on the YouTube channel. This is ES44 AC. It's full sound. It's an Athearn Genesis. I really like it. I think it's going to go well with the rest of my fleet. I've never had an ES44, so I'll be glad to have this. Now, a couple things I've done here. If you guys watched my other videos, you'll recognize this scene more or less. Trying to hold the camera steady, but it's not working real well. Anyway, I've got my old Soo Line boxcar sitting back there with the person reading a book, and got the old beat up Mustang sitting there being used as a still. And no, I do not make my own trees, not yet anyway. I bought these from a guy who calls his company Affordable Forest. I do plan on making some of these and seeing how good I can do, but I doubt my trees will look half as good as his. But that'll be a later video once I give it a few tries. I might just show you guys how I do it. Other than that, I mean, you can see the table's been pushed back against the wall again, and we got track all the way up to the switch track that we're just working on. And well, let's give this baby a run. Just gotta turn power on here. For some reason, this one likes to jump backwards as soon as you give it power. That may be something I got to look into and try and figure out why it's doing it. The startup voltage might be wrong or something. And I got to set the volumes and stuff on it. And I've got a dirty spot there in the track already, so Just send it back around. I've got to clean the track, I guess. I do have a track cleaning car. I'll have to hook it to the front and see if we can get it around. So you hear, it's got pretty decent sounds. Thought they were kind of funky at first, but then I went online and looked it up and actually found a video somebody did with doing a little rail fanning, and that's what they sound like, I guess. So this mess over here in the corner, I was showing my daughter how I do the grass, and my watered down glue kind of made a mess for me. Now, if I get time, when I come back from Train Fest, I will show you anything I got. I will try to take pictures. I don't know, my camera just don't have a whole lot of long charge on it, so I don't think I'm going to take it. I am looking forward to talking to the Hornby guys there, because they are starting to make some nice American stuff, and I do have a few Hornby engines that are English, which as the videos progress and I start bringing my engines downstairs, I'll show them to you. But I think that's just about it. If I get anything else done tonight, I'll add some more pictures. One thing I will get done is I'm going to get, well, here, I can show you what I do. Okay, here's a switch that's all set up. Let's see if I can find it right there. On these number 8s, there is a little spot right there, and if you see, I got a wire soldered to it, and it goes down through into the board, and it hangs out right here onto this wire. This wire will be connected to the center wire on the slow motion tortoise machine, and what that's going to allow me to do is, this frog here is metal, and it's separated from both this track and this track here, and the two diverging tracks here. So when a train comes across the frog, depending on which way the tortoise is thrown, I should have power to the frog, which means some of my smaller engines and stuff like, oh, where is it? I got a high railer here somewhere anyway. Stuff like my high railer can go across the frog without dying. So that's probably the only thing I'm going to probably get done, unless I get lucky and get the board that goes from here all the way down. I mean, I would like to have, so I can show you, this table here pushed back in over here to the right. Kind of now it's going to become a work table temporarily, but this table belongs right here at the end of this one. And what I decided to do is, since I have these two switches here and here, this end up here is going to be a curve, and then this table will hook in on the end and have the rest of the curve on it. And it's only about a 23.5 inch curve or something like that. I think that's what I put in down here at the other end. But I have some tracks that work good for that. And then I'll just show you this. I think I've shown you this table before. I think it used to be in here at one time. I think on like video number 2 or something like that. Right here where my chop saw is, this table here is about 6 feet long. I gotta do some cleanup. I tore the foam off it when I did the thing upstairs, when I brought it from upstairs. But this table fits in perfectly right where that table is sitting now. And what the plan is, I'm just gonna I think I've talked about this before, but but I know I've kind of changed my mind. From this switch here, we're going to come out and along out the table out to that 4-inch piece, and that's going to connect into the table that we had out in the other room. And what the plan is since the table will be about, oops, hold up, about this width, which is, well, actually that one's 30, that one will be 24. What the plan is with that is I have 2% incline sitting upstairs, and starting somewhere right here near the corner, there'll be another switch about here that'll diverge off into here, over, and then this switch will come along, rising up and going all the way around the corner and up along this wall, continuing rising all the way behind the door. And behind the door is about a, I don't know, about a 6-inch wall, I think. Can't really say, maybe a little more, maybe about 9 inches. We're going to go through that wall at some point, at whatever height. And then we're going to come out over here on this side of the wall. And we're going to come across here by the washing machine, between those two pipes. We're going to run right through there. I'm going to actually encase it in plexiglass and seal the plexiglass so that there's no chance of water come in, and then I'm going to glue pieces of wood on each end of the plexiglass to make sure if the water does happen to get on top of the plexiglass, if it runs back, it has no choice but to go over the sides. And then pretty much once it gets past here, we might have to drop down just a hair, start dropping when we come through here. But this is where the double deck is going to start. This deck right here is the bottom deck for this end of the room. This is, if you remember, this is the table that we were going to put underneath the table with the turntable in there. So there's going to be two decks. There's going to be one at my 26 inches off the floor, and then one, I haven't decided if we're going to go 8 inches or a foot above. And pretty much it's going to be double decked all the way around. When we get to the furnace, it's just going to be kind of a double tunnel. I'll probably use whatever's left of that plexiglass to kind of make it so I can see what's going on with the trains in there. Once I know everything's going to work okay, then we'll encase it. And then pretty much we're going to come all the way over to where that big mess is over there in the corner. And I haven't decided yet. I have been, as you can see there, I've got half a helix there, and I've had nothing but trouble with trying to make helixes. I am so tempted. A company sells them. I think it's, I think it said it was 2.5% grade. Anyway, that should be more than enough of a decent grade for, I know everybody says 2, but I'm thinking about them spiral down to the lower level, and there will be an incline that runs around from here over to here, and hopefully by the time we get to that window, we're already on the upper level and coming back through here behind the furnace. But I've babbled on long enough. If I do get anything done, I will add it to the video. But I don't foresee anything other than maybe getting the top on that table over here, and I do not have enough foam to cover it. That one there's 30 inches short of what we need, so because it's the table in the other room. But like I said, if I do get anything done, I'll definitely post it so you can see it. Until then, I'm going to try and make another video on Sunday when I get back from Train Fest. If not, you probably have to wait 2 weeks. I know you've been waiting a long time for a video to come out. I've been just busy and kind of lazy lately, so. But, alright, we'll see you on the next video.